47 FM presents Harmony with Food with Meg O'Rourke. Meg is a registered dietitian that can help you get on the path to a healthier. Ask Meg a question. Call 1-866-920-WHJJ. Now, here's Meg O'Rourke.
Do you white knuckle it when someone says, let's go out to dinner? Do you even know what to put in your mouth anymore? You're not alone. There's way too many people that have no business talking about nutrition doing so and causing confusion. Maybe you or someone you love is treating their body as a human garbage disposal. Or are you suffering from joint pain, headaches, weight loss resistance, brain fog, fatigue, GI issues, anxiety, depression, or mood disorders? Or maybe you're starting to wonder if your immune system is as strong as it should be, especially during these troubling times. I'm leading nutritionist Meg Marie O'Rourke, and I'm here to change the way you think about food. So we're going to talk today. Oh, by the way, the number is 866-920-9455. Again, the number is 866-920-9455. And we are going to talk today, first of all, about a doctor in Virginia who is actually suing the hospital system because they're not allowing him to prescribe ivermectin. And then we're also going to talk about some of the people that are making a ton of money out of Forbes. There's an article out of Forbes. So let's get started with that. So the title of the blog is, and there's plenty of blogs with the same type of title out there if you want to do some research yourself. It's How Much Money Americans Billionaires Have Made During the COVID-19 Pandemic. So 20 million Americans lost their jobs in the pandemic. And at the same time, roughly 650 billionaires in America saw their net worth increase by more than $1 trillion. And they're now worth more than $4 trillion. So that's true, according to Forbes data, that the numbers are actually a bit richer for a few small percentage of Americans. Total American billionaire wealth stands at $4.6 trillion as of the stock market recently. That's up 35% from $3.4 trillion when markets opened in January of 2020, just as COVID was beginning to take the world by storm. In other words, the U.S. billionaires have gotten about $1.2 trillion richer during the pandemic. So the markets are surging despite more than a year of lockdowns and a spike in unemployment, leading a boost in the value of 401ks, IRAs, and other investment accounts. So what we're seeing, and long story short, is that a lot of the companies are making big bucks, huge bucks, guys. And so it's kind of ironic, and I'd love to know what you guys think. Because I'm multitasking here, I apologize. Because what is happening is there's so many people suffering, yet there are so many people where their bank accounts are just going crazily high. And so we see quite a difference, right, with all these small businesses barely hanging on or failing, unfortunately. And then we see some of these big pharmaceutical companies are just killing it financially. And so I need to know your input on this. I want to know if you also agree that the big pharmaceuticals are laughing all the way to the bank, that we need to use food as our medicine. And why aren't the doctors doing more? Why are they just skimming the surface, especially during a pandemic? Now, never mind before the pandemic. There's only going to be a certain amount of people that are going to do preventative or proactive health care where they don't care what the insurance companies allow or don't allow. They are going to dig deeper. And I'm going to tell you about one of my clients who did that recently. It's really pretty cool. So just know, if you are suffering from any of these things, whether it's joint pain, headaches, weight loss resistance, brain fog, fatigue, GI issues, anxiety, depression, or any mood disorder, that I'm here. I have some great news for you. I know that food can help your mood. I'm 100% sure of it. I know that science shows, it's not even that I show, that if you're exercising on a regular basis, this will decrease your anxiety and help prevent or decrease depression. We know that food can help our immune systems. How about having a little bit of ginger and garlic for lunch? What are you doing to make your immune system better? And the bigger question today is, why are so many of us not being proactive in a pandemic, getting our micronutrient levels tested? We know that vitamin A, vitamin D2, vitamin D3, B6, folate, zinc, B12, just to name a few, can have a great effect in a positive way on our immune systems. So exercise is also going to improve your immune system. Good foods, like I mentioned, the garlic and the ginger and things like that are going to improve our immune systems. So how are you stepping up to the plate? I'd love to know at 866-920-9455. Again, the number here is 866-920-9455. You guys need to participate in the show so we can have a intelligent, reciprocal conversation. Get your answers, get your answers to your burning nutrition questions solved, because here's the thing, guys. There's so many people out there, like I said earlier, that get these degrees. It's like a 6-month degree and 6 weeks sometimes. And it's like, oh, now I'm a certified nutrition, blah, blah, integrative coach. That sounds wonderful, doesn't it? But it doesn't mean crap. And I don't want you guys getting information from people that have no business talking about nutrition, because it's creating confusion. I see it every day in my office. I have women, men, people depressed, crying. They do not believe that, that they're so confused. That's what it is. They believe in good nutrition and health and all that, but they're confused and they need guidance. So we need to, especially during this time, I don't know about you guys. I mean, I don't want to have an anti-vax vaccination conversation. Not ready for that today. But I would love to have a conversation about how many of you are treating your bodies like a temple, like God says, like the Bible says, or are you treating your body like a human garbage disposal and getting, afraid? How many of you out there know that if you get COVID, it might be kind of shaky grounds for you because you're not treating your body like a temple. You're not putting the right food and nutrition into your body. You're not exercising enough. You're boozing it up. You're smoking cigarettes. You're smoking pot. You're doing whatever. And you're eating too much sugar and too much salt. And it's going to affect you if, God forbid, you do get COVID. So I can't imagine a time in this world where people should not be taking their health more seriously. And I want you guys to step it up to the plate and tell me what you're doing today at 866-920-9455. And or you can email me too if you don't want to call in at meg@harmonywithfood.com. I will be multitasking during the break, looking for your questions. So we're going to talk about a doctor in Virginia when we get back in a few minutes. We're going to head to a break, but we're going to talk about a doctor in Virginia who is actually suing the healthcare system because he has not been allowed to do what he has gone to school for 10 plus years, which was he wants to give his patients with COVID-19 ivermectin. And so he is actually going to sue Centera Healthcare because they will not allow him to treat COVID-19 patients with ivermectin. And so we're going to talk about that after the break. I want to know what you guys think. I think we're seeing some positive light here. We're seeing things that are going to court soon where they're trying to come up with these things where the president is saying if you have a company of over 100 people, then they all need to be vaccinated. I think some of these cases are going to be going to Supreme Court at some point, and I think that we are all going to be, seeing some changes, some positive changes, but we have to keep the momentum going. We have to keep strong. We have to fight the big pharmaceuticals. We don't want to end up on pharmaceuticals because if big pharma wins, you lose. And remember, hold on to your pocketbooks, guys. because health insurance is not going down in price, and either is the amount of care that they're going to give you. So if we keep doing what the insurance companies allow us to do, because we're sheeple instead of people, we're going to see a lot of healthcare problems in the near future. We need to step it up. We need to do more. You need to see practitioners like myself so you can do some proactive healthcare. We're heading to a break and we'll be right back.
The pandemic is forging important changes across health and science. On Breakthrough, a new series from the Prognosis podcast, we look at the medical mysteries and the opportunities COVID is leaving in its wake. From a new condition doctors are trying to understand and treat, to how mRNA technology promises to revolutionize the fight against diseases like cancer and multiple sclerosis. Listen to Prognosis Breakthrough on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Hi, I'm leading nutritionist Meg Marie O'Rourke and owner of Harmony with Food. Harmony with Food introduces Bio-Unique Boutique because you are unique. Personal nutrition is based on the concept of one size does not fit all. Differences in genetics, health history, lifestyle, nutrient intake, biochemistry, metabolism, and our microbiomes contribute to individualized differences observed in our unique response to therapeutic diets and nutrition status, timing of eating, stress responses, and chemicals in our food and household products. This means that our genomes, biochemistry, metabolism, microbiome are all different. The principles of the Bio-Unique Boutique involve understanding of chronic diseases, individual biochemistry, and how food is metabolized differently for every one of us. Check out the Bio-Unique Boutique at harmonywithfood.com.
Here's the turkey, all the fixins, and fruitcake. Credit card? Nope. Is that a dime? Haven't you heard? It's the crime to pay more than a dime. One dime down. Oh, sweetheart, that's only at Route 6. Route 6 Automall Kia in Swansea.
It's a crime to pay more than a dime. Every vehicle, one dime down.
At Route 6 Automall Kia.
Plus, it's a credit approve-a-thon.
If you bring home $350 a week, you could get up to $25,000 in credit. Woohoo! 25 grand.
Yes, ma'am, with only one dime down.
Even the all-new 2022 Telluride with third row seating.
New Kias have all the tech, smart cruise control, collision avoidance, and more.
Only at Route 6. Route 6 Automall Kia. In Swansea. Route6automall.com.
Route6automall.com.
Don't you just love fruitcake? I know. No, I do not.
New 21K5, 25.6 dime down, $356 per month for 72 months, 0% APR, $13.88 per thousand borrowed, plus tax, adding fees, Kia Motor Finance. To qualified buyers until 11/30/21.
There's confusion about how to protect yourself from COVID. One thing is certain. Whether or not you're vaccinated, you need an accurate thermometer to check for fever, the leading sign of flu and COVID. Be vigilant and contact your medical provider at the first sign of fever. Don't rely on non-contact thermometers that have no scientific studies. Only the Exergen Temporal Scanner thermometer has been proven accurate in more than 100 clinical studies. Learn more at Exergen.com.
The weather is chilly, but it's not officially fall until you button up a soft and cozy flannel from Untuck It. They're perfect for keeping warm and in style this season. Untuck It shirts are designed to be worn untucked, so you'll look sharp and stay comfortable all day long. The wrinkle-free and performance shirts are great for work and the weekend. Just layer a super soft sweater on top for more dressed-up occasions. So update your closet this fall at untuckit.com or at 80-plus stores. Use code COZY for 20% off your first order. Untuck It shirts, designed to be worn untucked.
Now, back to Harmony with Food with Meg O'Rourke on News Radio 920 and 104.7 FM. Ask Meg a question at Harmony with Food on Facebook or call her now at 1-866-920-WHJJ.
Welcome back, guys, to the Harmony with Food show. We are in the second leg of the show, and we are going to talk about, I think, positive news. I'm following a story on a doctor from Norfolk, Virginia, and he's being a leader, and he is actually going to sue. So the story broke out this week. A Norfolk doctor is suing Centera Healthcare because they will not allow him to treat COVID-19 patients with ivermectin. And he's not only taking the hospitals, he's going to actually take the hospitals to court over this controversial treatment. And they said in an exclusive interview with Dr. Paul Myrick, and that's spelled M-A-R-K, if you want to look this up, says he's suing Centera because they are forcing him to withhold what he believes is a potentially life-saving drug from his COVID-19 patients. Now, I just have to say that this brings me goosebumps. This is like someone that's ready to stick their neck out there for his patients, because that's what when he signed that oath, when he agreed to that oath to be a physician, this is what you're supposed to be doing. We've learned some COVID-19 patients and their families are taking other hospitals to court to get access to the drug. So in my eyes, you guys, this is actually a really good sign. That includes the Ohio COVID patient Jeffrey Smith. Smith was hospitalized with the virus and was placed on a ventilator at Westchester Hospital. His wife reached out to a doctor outside the hospital who prescribed ivermectin, but the hospital staff wouldn't give it to the patient. So Smith's wife sued, and a judge agreed to force the hospital's hand. Smith received ivermectin for 2 weeks, but another judge stepped in and reversed the decision. Smith eventually died on September 25th. So that's far from only one case. According to the American Bar Association, judges across the country appear to be split. Some siding with the hospital protocols and others siding with patients who want to give ivermectin a try. So that's what Mark says is the aim of his lawsuit against Centera. Dr. Myrick claims in the lawsuit that Centera's policy may have led to the deaths of 4 of his patients who were never given the opportunity to learn of or be treated with potentially life-saving medications. In his lawsuit, he said Centera issued a directive to the doctors last month banning the use of including ivermectin to treat COVID-19 patients unless they were part of a clinical trial. It was a memo that was sent through the healthcare system that was really directed personally to me to prevent me from prescribing those medications that I, as a treating physician, wanted to use, he told us. So Dr. Myrick's support of ivermectin was the subject of many different reports along the news this week. So Dr. Myrick and his international group of doctors point to a list of smaller studies that suggest the drug is safe and effective at treating COVID-19. But other doctors say there needs to be more data and more bigger trials. To me, yeah, in a perfect world, but not while we're going through a pandemic. So there is some hope out there. There is some insight to see that we are going to maybe be getting some of these doctors and some of the hospital systems are going to be getting some, fighting back by some of these doctors that are really passionate about what they do. And I think that, as these doctors get trained over 10, 15 years, and they go to school, they become a doctor, they get the privilege of prescribing medication for people, and they should be able to prescribe, they whatever they want, whenever they want. And that's always been a big issue with me, is when the big insurance companies are having nurses or people with their GEDs being the people that are making decisions on the lines about what doctors can and cannot do. And I've always been very passionate about that. I think that is absolutely wrong. If they want to get real medical doctors to make some of those decisions, okay, that would be something that we could kind of discuss. But as far as having people that are nurses or people that just have their GEDs or what have you, making a lot of these decisions for the doctors of what they can do and what they can't do is at least unethical, and at minimum unethical, at maximum probably could lead to lawsuits in the very future about all of this. I'm not sure why it hasn't happened sooner. I think it's kind of like you kind of feel like you can't fight City Hall. That would be my guess about it. But we as individuals can absolutely take pride in the fact that we can treat our bodies better. We don't have to keep treating our bodies like human garbage disposals, and we can actually give our body food that's going to help increase our immune systems. And also, we want to know what is going on with the medical system that they're not allowing us to check vitamin A, D2, D3, B6, folate, zinc, and B12, to just name a few. And we're going to talk about some of those vitamins in a minute and throughout the show. But I want you guys to know that if your doctor's not helping you, if they're just skimming the surface, doing what is allowed per protocol of their health system that they're employed by, that's a shame. But you can do more. You can be more proactive about your health. You can actually step up to the plate and do some of the things that I've been suggesting for years now. And what I do is I help proactive, inquiring minds understand that while we rely on some of the same principles of conventional medicine, we value the therapeutic relationship, we're working with systems and frameworks, we're always aiming to address the root causes as to oppose just chasing signs and symptoms or treating a diagnosis. So functional nutrition is different than conventional medicine. And myself, if you're just tuning in, my name is Meg Marie O'Rourke. I'm a registered dietitian. I'm a functional nutritionist. And we have to work with the whole lifestyle. And I work within the scope of my practice, and that scope is not to diagnose, prescribe, or treat. Instead, my role is to understand the whole person, address the terrains within which those signs, symptoms, or diagnoses are manifested. I mean, it's great to know. I always say conventional medicine, you do all the tests that they allow you to do and all that. It's great to know you don't have cancer, but what's next? Why are we just skimming the surface? So what I do is I educate the patient on why those health challenges arose and how to take back control of their own health, and to use my specific skill set to fill that gap that exists between the physician and the patient. What I do is I take people from, pain to pain-free island. I'm kind of the conduit in between your conventional medical doctor and you getting over to pain-free island. And so the conventional doctors, in my opinion, are not digging deep enough. We need to all be digging deeper and getting to where our immune systems are amazing. And if you are not interested in this now during this pandemic, I don't know when you ever will be. But what happened to us when the pandemic got started was we were all tested. How are we treating our body? Okay? How are we treating our body? I'll say that again because it's so important. And even in the Bible, it says that you should treat your body like a temple. And how many of you are still feeding your body with extra sugar, fast food, salt, overeating to the point of, on a scale of 0 to 10, 0's not full at all, 10 so full you feel sick, 5 is just satisfied, and you're eating till you're a 6 or a 7 or an 8 or a 9 or a 10. That's gluttony. And so I want you guys to really think about how you're treating your bodies. And I want you guys to call in today at 866-920-9455. Again, the number 866-920-9455. And we need to have a conversation, and I need to know what you guys are doing to improve your immune systems, okay? So what are you doing? Or what are you doing that you know is actually making your immune system worse or not as strong as it could be? So we need to be, I don't know about you guys, but I'm not ready to get the booster. That's something we could talk about after the break. I don't want to do an anti-vax program today, but I do want to actually see how many of you are getting the booster. Do you want to get the booster? Or is the better question, should you just be getting your immune system up to par because you know that it's subpar at this point in your life? So you're listening to the Harmony with Food show. Follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, all Harmony with Food. And again, the number here is 866-920-9455. My name's Meg, and we're heading to the break. And again, follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, all Harmony with Food. We'll be right back.
Biden's approval numbers are hitting record lows. Biden is confused, rambling, and incoherent. Now, Grant Stinchfield is on Newsmax TV asking who's really in charge of Washington. Tonight, Stinchfield reveals the truth about Kamala Harris, Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, and the secret people behind Joe Biden. Newsmax is your trusted news source. Find us on all major cable systems and download the free Newsmax app on your smartphone now. Watch Newsmax anytime, anywhere, because it's real news for real people.
You tried all the diets, intermittent fasting, low carb, Whole30, keto, but nothing seems to work. You've tried it all, except for your diet do-over. And no, your diet do-over isn't another miraculous diet promising the moon. Your diet is over with your diet do-over. I'm leading nutritionist Meg Marie O'Rourke, and I'm here to change the way you think about food. It's time to start taking care of yourself. You've been taking care of your family and your work for a long time. It's now time to take care of you. Let's get a healthy start together. Start feeling 100% and forget about GI distress like bloating, constipation, or gas. If you're uncomfortable with your body, choose your diet do-over. I am offering 80% off for all the Harmony with Food listeners. Go over to harmonywithfood.com, work with Meg, and use radio code RADIO-MEG.
The weather is chilly, but it's not officially fall until you button up a soft and cozy flannel from Untuck It. They're perfect for keeping warm and in style this season. Untuck It shirts are designed to be worn untucked, so you'll look sharp and stay comfortable all day long. The wrinkle-free and performance shirts are great for work and the weekend. Just layer a super soft sweater on top for more dressed-up occasions. So update your closet this fall at untuckit.com or at 80-plus stores. Use code COZY for 20% off your first order. Untuck It shirts, designed to be worn untucked.
Are you suffering from migraines, headaches, GI distress, rheumatoid arthritis, and so much more? You can get the help you need with my Do-It-Yourself, Your Diet Do-Over course 8-week program at your own pace. Stop guessing and determine exactly what foods you should or should not be consuming. With the Your Diet Do-Over Do-It-Yourself course, you have the ability to go at your own pace. I was going to charge $997 for this course. Phew, I know that sounds like a lot, but I put a lot into it. And the course has 8 modules and is going to help you get exactly where you need to be. So head on over and use the code RADIO-MEG. Harmony with Food, Work with Meg tab. Use the code RADIO-MEG to get 80% off the Your Diet Do-Over program, which will make you eligible for the Harmony Within membership.
News, I'm Jared McHugh. Runaway inflation is setting the stage for a very costly Thanksgiving.
Thanks to the highest inflation in 30 years, a Thanksgiving turkey is going to cost you more than any time this century. Americans also feeling the squeeze at the pump. President Biden recognizing the skyrocketing costs.
Do you ever think you're paying this much for a gallon of gas? In some parts of California, they're paying $4.50 a gallon.
The price of a 15-pound turkey has surged from $11 in 2018 to nearly $21 today. That's the highest in decades after a 25% jump in just the past year.
Fox's Lucas Tomlinson. It always comes down to money. The UN Climate Conference in Glasgow, Scotland has hit a snag due to financial woes, namely complications over compensation for climate damages for poorer nations. U.S. Envoy John Kerry now meeting with diplomats from Africa and elsewhere to try and find a solution. America is listening to Fox News.
Now, here's your Storm Team 10 forecast.
Sunshine leading to increasing cloud cover through the mid-afternoon hours today with temperatures near 60 degrees. From 4 to 7 p.m., a cold front works through with the chance for strong to severe thunderstorms, producing briefly heavy rain, small hail, and strong to damaging wind gusts up to 50 miles per hour. It's a fast-moving system and we clear out for the rest of the night. Temperatures dropping to the mid-30s by Sunday morning, then warming to low 50s with increasing clouds throughout the rest of Sunday. I'm Storm Team 10 meteorologist Anthony McCarry on News Radio 920 and 104.7 FM.
Now, back to Harmony with Food with Meg O'Rourke on News Radio 920 and 104.7 FM. Ask Meg a question at Harmony with Food on Facebook or call her now at 1-866-920-WHJJ.
Welcome back to the Harmony with Food show. We're talking about how I help proactive, inquiring minds understand that while we rely on some of the same principles as conventional medicine, that I am actually the conduit between your physician and getting you over to pain-free island. Because my role is not to prescribe prescription medications for the big pharmaceutical companies and then get, kickbacks. My role is to use real food and important vitamins and minerals that our doctors are not talking about. And I've said this many times on the show, why are doctors, first of all, they're checking the only vitamin, they'll check the standard, but then above that, some of them are now checking vitamin D. And the reason for that is because of, go look in the mirror, because of all of you, and you were doing your research and you're educated and you're telling your doctors that you wanted your vitamin D levels checked. So now, 10 years later, it's almost standard, but not all doctors are, believe it or not, some doctors are still not checking your vitamin D. And if they're not, you need to be your own healthcare advocate and get yourself that vitamin D checked. But the problem is that vitamin D is like the Kim Kardashian of vitamins, and we're going to talk about vitamin A, vitamin D2, vitamin D3, B6, folate, zinc, B12, and we're going to talk about how all of those affect your immune system. We're going to talk about foods that we can eat that contain these vitamins. But the bigger question here is, why are we just treating our bodies subpar when we can be doing more? And we all know that the healthcare system is pretty much a mess. It's great to know you don't have cancer, but we are not, no matter what they tell you on the billboards that you drive by, the big insurance companies are not doing proactive health care. They're not volunteering for you to get your vitamin A levels checked, or D2 or B6 or folate or zinc or any of the other vitamins that are out there. So when we in my office, again, this isn't for everyone. Not everyone can afford to do this, but and that's kind of an excuse, and I always say excuses are a cover-up for fear. What's more important than your health? So we can actually check our vitamin A levels. We can check B1, B2, B6, B3, B12. These are vitamins and minerals that our doctors aren't checking that actually do a lot to help us metabolize food. They affect whether or not we may or may not have fatigue. It can affect whether or not we are storing, keeping our calcium, our bones where they need to be, because as you get to a certain point in life, the calcium only goes down. So we want to make sure that our bones are strong as we age, right? So you get to a max point when you're in your 20s, early 20s. It's different for boys and girls, but I would say around 20. And then from there, it's going to go down. So we want to keep it where it is. And how do you do that? By eating the right foods, by getting the calcium that you need, by doing, muscle building exercises. Remember, the more muscle you have, the faster your metabolism is. We can check vitamin C. That also affects the immune system. D3, D2. We can check vitamin E, vitamin K1, K2. Folate, and so I'm just going to stop at folate here and tell you a little bit about it. So folate is the naturally occurring form found in foods. Folic acid is the supplement or synthetic form. Folate is more bioavailable. So once it gets in our circulation and our systems, it gets methylated. And so that is very important for our circulation and to reduce homocysteine, but it also is involved in DNA synthesis and red blood cell synthesis. So its deficiency of folate can manifest as anemia, megaloblastic anemia, and it can also involve B12. And, we just need to realize that there are a lot of things that can contribute to having low folate levels, including neural tube defects during pregnancy, mood disorders such as anxiety and depression, particularly in the elderly, and fatigue, impaired immune function. Okay, so that's a huge one right there. So it can cause fatigue, but it also can impair your immune function and cardiovascular disease. So the question is, why are a lot of these vitamins and minerals not being checked by our conventional medicine? And the reason is because actually doctors know very little about nutrition. They've taken very few courses. Now, there's some smart doctors out there who actually realize that, I really went to school for medicine or cardiovascular disease, but I know there's a lot of money to be made in this $80 billion a year dieting industry. So all of a sudden, they miraculously turn into nutritionists. And they start selling books and touring, and they figure they can make way more money writing a book about nutrition and touring and doing webinars and selling their books than they ever could just seeing one client after another. So they're kind of tapped, and they get really smart. They get an agent or an agency to help promote them. They pay tons of money, but now all of a sudden they're registered. Well, they don't say they're registered dietitians. They say they're doctors, and it just kind of makes me laugh. They're all over the place out there right now. So we have vitamin E, K1, K2. Then we have folate, which I already mentioned and went into, and calcium, and manganese and magnesium and zinc. Zinc definitely has been linked to, there could be a direct relationship between how your zinc levels are and how your immune system, or in other words, if your immune system is down, that is indicative of a low zinc level in your system. So we're not checking these things. I'm still scratching my head, not sure why, but you can. And you can take a different route than the rest of the cattle going into the shed. You can be a person instead of a sheeple and decide, you know what, I'm a little at risk here, or maybe I don't want to be at risk at all, and I'm going to do some micronutrient testing with Meg. Now, let me be clear, it's not covered by insurance. So you can head over to the BioUnique Boutique and check out some of the pricing, some of the information that is on my website that has just been added recently to the site. Again, it's harmonywithfood.com. And we can always talk about, what you need to have checked, where you need to go next for you. Maybe it's the microbiome testing. Maybe you're having GI disorder. Maybe you've had every single scope you can think of, an endoscope, a colonoscopy. You have had maybe a scan, and you're still having problems, but the conventional doctors don't know what it is. They may tell you it's psychological. That's the other thing that sometimes happens when they can't figure it out. I don't know if it's an ego thing. I don't know what it is, but I've had many, many clients over the years tell me when they were sick and the doctors couldn't figure it out, that all of a sudden they were told to go see a psychiatrist. Now, that could be an ego thing on the doctor's end. That could be they don't know what else to tell them, which is probably more likely the scenario. But I'm here to tell you that you need to be your own healthcare advocate. And you need to step up to the plate if you're not sure where to go next or what to do next. Maybe you're over there on Pain Island and you know that things could be better. Maybe you're just feeling a little bit of fatigue or know that your energy level is not where it needs to be. That is where a micronutrient test would come in handy for you. And that is how I have helped hundreds of other people get to a better point in their life. I have testimonials to prove it. They're all over my website. And we can actually remember, we do this show every Saturday from 11 to noon. But the thing is we dig much deeper in my membership. So the membership that I've developed or founded is actually another way to work with me that is actually very inexpensive. If you really think about it, I'm charging $97 a month. And after the break, I'm going to elaborate more about what this membership is about. Now, if we put a column for Noom, and we put a column for Weight Watchers, and we put a column for Jenny Craig, my check marks would way outdo any of their programs or systems. And we are going to talk about overthinking after the break. That was one of the topics we did with a meditation expert this week in the membership. So when we get back from the break, the subject's going to be overthinking, how not to do it, and how to really realize that we can be much more mindful about so many things and have a much more joyous life. You guys are listening to the Harmony with Food show. My name's Meg. If it's your first time tuning in, my name is Meg Marie O'Rourke. I've been a registered dietitian for over 15 years, and I'm here to change the way you think about food. So we are going over to a break. You're listening to the Harmony with Food show. Follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, all Harmony with Food. We'll be right back.
For more information about contests on News Radio 920 and 104.7 FM, go to newsradiori.com/rules.
Are you on tons of supplements? Did you know that supplements on the overload can cause harm to your body? Are you reading one blog and then listening to one radio show advertisement or another TV advertisement only to find yourself on 19 different supplements? You don't even know which supplement is working anymore. Take better care of yourself by determining exactly what pre- and probiotics you need, what supplements you may be lacking. You have been treating your body subpar. It's time that we determine exactly what pre- and probiotics you need and what supplements, vitamins, and minerals you need for your body. Check out the BioUnique Boutique at harmonywithfood.com to determine exactly what foods and supplements you should or should not be consuming at harmonywithfood.com. Work with Meg, the BioUnique Boutique. Hi, I'm leading nutritionist Meg Marie O'Rourke and owner of Harmony with Food. Harmony with Food introduces BioUnique Boutique because you are unique. Personal nutrition is based on the concept of one size does not fit all. Differences in genetics, health history, lifestyle, nutrient intake, biochemistry, metabolism, and our microbiomes contribute to individualized differences observed in our unique response to therapeutic diets and nutrition status, timing of eating, stress responses, and chemicals in our food and household products. This means that our genomes, biochemistry, metabolism, microbiome are all different. The principles of the BioUnique Boutique involve understanding of chronic diseases, individual biochemistry, and how food is metabolized differently for every one of us. Check out the BioUnique Boutique at harmonywithfood.com.
Refinance to today's low mortgage rates, and you could save up to $1,000 a month, plus tens of thousands in long-term savings. It just takes a 10-minute call to American Financing to get started. You'll get a custom loan with incredible savings. No pressure, no upfront fees. Pre-qualify for free at 800-777-8109 or visit AmericanFinancing.net. NMLS 182334, NMLSConsumerAccess.org. East Commerce Solutions is spreading kindness into the community with their annual Turkey Run for Thanksgiving. The event, scheduled for Friday, November 19th, will feed over 15,000 families in need. To volunteer and support, please email CEO@EastCommerceSolutions.com.
Portions of the following program will be recorded.
We now return to Harmony with Food with Meg O'Rourke on News Radio 920 and 104.7 FM. Ask Meg a question at Harmony with Food on Facebook or call her now at 1-866-920-WHJJ.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Harmony with Food show. I have some really cool information to share with you guys. So I am super blessed to have a leader in our Harmony Within membership. Her name is Saglam, and she is a meditation expert, a Buddhist nun, and she shares some knowledge with us that is unbelievable. And I feel super blessed to have her in the membership, along with all my other leaders that are just amazing. And the members in this group are so cool. And I just want to say that the group has turned into a wonderful group of people. So with the members and the leaders, we have about 19 people in the membership. And, you know, I have to tell you, for those of you who are still paying for Weight Watchers membership, you need to get off the Weight Watchers BS dieting type of stuff. Putting points onto food is just ridiculous. And we need to get real and realize that this dieting phenomenon in this country, 80 billion, it's probably way more than that. I'm going to guess it's at 100 billion at this point, with Noom and Weight Watchers and all these companies just trying to make money. Do you think, can you call Oprah when you have a question about Weight Watchers? Now, seriously, why would you want to call Oprah? She is the poster child of weight going up and down, up and down. And I think what Weight Watchers CEOs and the brilliant people, so-called brilliant people up there at the headquarters, thought that adding Oprah would make everything turn to gold. But what really happened is that they insulted all of our intelligence. We all know that Oprah is not someone that we want to look to for information about dieting. As I mentioned earlier, she is the poster child of dieting, going up and down her whole life. And we are going to have such a big change in how we feel with the membership. So what I mean by that is it's life-changing. It really is. We have, and even for myself, I'm learning things every week. We have amazing people in the membership. Now, to get into the membership, you first have to call, I'm multitasking. You first have to go to a tab on my website, which is Work with Meg. And then you can get the course. You can do it yourself. It's an 8-week course. You can finish it in 1 week for all I care. And then you're going to get invited on over into the membership. In the membership, this is like no other weight, nutrition, health membership. We have leading meditation expert Saglam. And in a few minutes, I'm going to share with you some tips that her and I went over this week in the membership about overthinking. So if you're multitasking right now, like I just was, come back in, focus, and we're going to talk about why it's so important to be more mindful about everything we do. And somebody just wrote in the thing, call Oprah for making money tips. Yes, okay, exactly. I love that. So, exactly. I mean, totally. If I want to make more money, I would definitely call Oprah if I could talk to her. That would be a blessing. But about nutrition and weight loss, no thank you. There's a million other people I'd rather ask about nutrition or health or science than Oprah, okay? So we need to be real. And we need to realize that we need a whole myriad of different things to focus on in order to live a healthy lifestyle. It's not just nutrition. And so what we focused on with Saglam this week was overthinking. And so overthinking can be something that a lot of us do, including myself. It doesn't help us in any way, shape, or form. What Saglam explained to me this week in the membership is that, and maybe one of these weeks I'll make an exception, and I will, maybe when I'm feeling generous, and I'll let you guys come into the membership without taking the course, and I'll allow that. I'm just thinking about this as I'm talking for about 72 hours only, and getting some of you guys into the membership. Because what happens is we end up crowdsourcing. And some of you may be like, well, what do you mean, Meg? It's like we help each other, we support each other. one of our members just got married, and it was like it felt like we were all at the wedding. Now, of course, we all weren't, but she shared pictures with us, and we were all rooting her on. And when we're already thinking, we're kind of, I don't want to say projecting, but we're thinking, not projecting, but we're forecasting into 2022. And the thing is, I am the anti-diet, no-nonsense dietitian. So you're not going to want to work with me if you're like a snowflake. It's just not going to work, okay? But you are going to want to work with me if you want someone that's going to tell you like it is, tell you to your face, never behind your back, and I'm going to support you, but with loving support at all times. And the thing with the membership that is so cool is we're only attracting cool, nice people that are, just amazing people. Everyone in the membership, I love. They're great people. I did have to get rid of one person in the membership. She didn't fit our vibe. It wasn't for, whatever reason. I would say if you don't like the show, change the channel. And so if you don't like the way I do things, you can go find another nutritionist, okay? That's not a problem. But you have to be a good fit. And so if I do a 72-hour where I let you in without taking the course, maybe kind of sale at some point, and you can come on over into the membership, you're going to have access to wonderful members, first of all, that are going to do nothing but welcome and support you. That's the first thing that's going to happen. The second thing that happens is you start forming bonds with these people. And the third thing that happens is then you realize that you're a little overwhelmed with all the material and everything that's in the Thinkific platform that I use to put the PDFs and the videos and all this stuff. So we work together. We do 2 lives every month with me for over an hour. And it's usually, it's supposed to be 45 minutes, but I always go above and beyond. I try to with all the things that I do in this world. And I just want to tell you that it just has this great vibe, and there's lots of information. So in that, if you're feeling overwhelmed, you can always say, right into the Facebook group, hey, where should I start? What should I do? And that's why I started the course, because the course is like a stepping stone into the membership. And so I want you guys to realize that you can take the course yourself, and then you're going to get into the membership if you choose to do so. I may do a flash sale where I let you in. I don't know. I've been thinking about this a little bit lately. I might do it, but I'm also a little concerned with the fact that I want you to go through the course first and get the basic information on macronutrients, etc. But I want to tell you what Soglong said to me this week, okay? So we're talking about overthinking. We're also talking about multitasking. And she was saying, and it's so true, because you saw it, we have proof of this on video today, because we're live on Facebook too, of me multitasking and then not doing as good of a job, right? Now, sometimes it can't be, you just have to do it. Maybe you're carrying your baby and cooking dinner. Sometimes you just have to, but the reality is that when we multitask, we're not doing as good of a job. Now, I told Saglam, I said, I hear people say all the time that women are much better than men at multitasking. And she said, yeah, that's probably because we've been forced into it, right? But it doesn't mean that so when I'm doing this radio show, I should be doing nothing but the radio show and concentrating on that. When you're, brushing your teeth, eating lunch, be mindful about what you're eating. But she said something really profound to me. And what she said was, there are certain things in life, and I'm not going to say it as elegantly as she does, but what she said was, quote unquote, is that when we multitask, we're really doing 2 or 3 things at once, or 4, or what have you, and we're not concentrating on the one thing that we should be concentrating on. So we don't do as good of a job. And so there are things in life that are, we can overthink about. It could be something in the past, it could be something in the present, and it could be something in the future. She said that most people don't overthink about the present, but they do overthink about the past and things that we have done. And she called that a very profound statement. So if you're multitasking, please come in with me here for 1 minute, 1 second. She called that, it was a was. and we can't do anything about. So if nothing else today, you guys, I hope you take that home with you and realize that in the membership, it's way more than just about nutrition. It's about health, it's about love, it's about kindness, it's about group dynamics, it's about exciting leaders just like Saglam and myself. So thank you guys for listening to the Harmony with Food today. I'm very grateful for this hour and to do this show every week, and we'll see you next week.